Hello and welcome to episode 12 of our Timberborn Update 5 Iron Teeth Mega Build Challenge playthrough here, cycle 18, day 1. Last time, and it's been a while since we've been in this playthrough, but last time we got this industrial area much better organized with the addition of some storage underneath here and continuing to put in the irrigation barriers, and we're going to continue with that today as well as attempting to get this entire farm quadrant fully isolated with said irrigation barriers. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that's going to make it possible for us to accomplish this is by having a lot of logs available, which we currently have about 1,000 between all of our different storages. And we should, theoretically, have enough now to make sure all of this is good to go. But what really is going to be the determining factor on that is where the logs are. So we hit tab, can take a look, see here. We've got some here, we've got some here, and most of the rest of them should be, I believe, right underneath here in the center, which is exactly where we want them to be. Just want to make sure that we are continuing to build more and more and more of those in different convenient places. So, we don't have the underground pile because that's a Folktales building, so all we have to work with here is the large industrial pile, which holds 180, and we are continuing to see benefits of all that placement all over the map. So, turbo mode time it is, and let's get rocking and rolling here. So, one of the things you guys mentioned from last time is that, oh, I forgot to put this path in here. Okay, yep, so that's fixed. Now everything is connected again. Everything is looking quite nice. We take this down here. These blank spots are where ladders are, so no problems there. Everything is now nicely connected once again, and they can cross the river over here just fine. So, everything is looking a-okay, and you might notice the frame rate's a little higher too. That's right, I did finally put in my new processor about last month, and now we're sitting at a cool approximately 80 FPS during the day when beavers are out running, as opposed to before it was substantially lower. And of course, when I was playing on my laptop while I was traveling, it was lower still. So we'll see. Maybe we'll be able to have more than 500 beavers when this playthrough is all said and done, but that's going to depend on how well everything else ends up working out. So, biggest priority right now is to make sure that these irrigation barriers are put in place, ideally before the next bad tide starts, but we don't know when that's going to be, so we're just kind of at the mercy of everything else right now. You can see most of these are missing either one or the other, and they're slowly getting more and more stuff put in place. We did have 4 of these wood workshops built last time, but they're not prioritized by haulers, so that's probably not really working out too great for us. Let's go ahead and prioritize those. And as some of you said in the comments, yes, we do in fact need some more haulers, so let's go ahead and just put in another hauling post for the benefit of all of our beavers working here. So I'll just put one there, and since we're right here in the middle, I'll put one there as well. We are going to have to start moving these out of the way eventually, but I'm not going to come in here and take this out until we have everything on this quadrant all finished, and it's going to be a little while for that to happen, so all we can do is just keep on doing our best. We can go ahead and get rid of this path, though, and pop that in here. In fact, this one right here as well, since the beavers have to go up the ladder and then down again. That will more or less completely cut this thing off here. We just have to have the path going across the middle like we do everywhere else. And that's something that's going to just take us the time that it takes us. So since they can still get across other ways, let's go ahead, as we've done before, and just put these guys in here and build our path on top. And once that's all constructed, we can come back in here and put our irrigation barriers in the middle as well. So, all that being said, everything is looking pretty okay. Pretty okay. We do have a little bit of storage for our planks, our treated planks here, but they're not prioritized by haulers because, well, we didn't really have enough haulers for that to be anything that made sense. So once These are all fully staffed. They did build those quickly, didn't they? Now they're both fully staffed, so we should see a little bit of an improvement gain. Improvement gain. Yeah, there you go. That's how you can tell I'm tired. But should be able to see a pretty good improvement in how our hauling is taking place. So there's still plenty of stuff we want to build here in our industrial area. We, of course, still have to get back to making extract and explosives and all sorts of fun stuff. But we do have enough for the time being for that not to really be that much of a concern. One thing, though, that we should be doing is getting more science. And while we are making plenty of power, I could feasibly build number crunchers. I'm not going to. Instead, because we have unemployed beavers, we might as well go ahead and build some of these guys here. Just build 6 more, so we have 6 unemployed beavers. Get those guys going, give them something to do, and move on from there. And of course, as soon as we have enough treated planks, they will come in here and fill those up. That is looking pretty okay as well. So moving on to other things you guys mentioned in the comments. A couple people said, hey, why don't you plant the rest of these trees all the way to the edge? Well, the reason I hadn't done that yet is because I was thinking about putting a path here. But I remembered, since we have the mods now, back at home on my main computer, we can actually start doing these side platforms, which I think is a fantastic idea. They do use a lot of resources, but they're extremely valuable. And I think it's going to be worth us getting involved with these. So if I put a side platform on the, well, side, there we go. I have to actually get it to let me do this. But if we just have this go all the way around the outside here, we can actually make full use of all of our grass. And then we can just have the path running around the outside. Cannot click and drag these. They do have to be individually placed, which is kind of a drag. But it's going to open up a lot of space. The reason I have not done that over here is because the irrigation barrier cannot have a path built on it. I could, in theory, the range is still plentiful on these foresters, so I could plant some trees here if I had a platform go all the way down. For right now, we don't have that in place, so I'm not going to be messing too much with that. Just want to get these guys going here, but I will go ahead and get these oak trees all good to go. And hey, this let me know that I did not have all of these marked for cutting, so that's actually super useful information. And we can come over here and start doing the same thing as well. But before we get too involved with growing more trees over here, we are going to want to get into dirt excavation pretty soon, because that's going to be the only way to save these poor mangrove trees here, is to put in another little bit of land here. So we have a choice with where we put our dirt excavator. And considering how we want to have this run for the foreseeable future, this is probably going to be all tree farms or some sort of growing something out here. And in industry moved as well. But we are a long, long way from that being a thing. So we're not necessarily bound by that. But somebody in the comments had a good idea about using the dirt excavators as a kind of a 2-for-1 with large reservoirs for irrigation. Because, of course, if you have water pumped into a hole that the dirt excavator makes, it's just going to, it's going to hold water just like a normal reservoir. And it can't ever get low enough to flood out the bottom of the map or anything. So it just seems kind of like a no-brainer. The only problem is it requires power. So for it to be in, like, say, for example, once all of this metal is gone, I wanted to put a dirt excavator right here in the middle of this. And that's going to be a pretty big hole. I have 5x5, so that would definitely have enough water in it if it were filled to go ahead and make this whole area pretty much permanently green. Assuming that we had our irrigation barriers in place and everything. So we will see what happens when we get there. I think right now it doesn't make sense to just put this in the middle. 1, because there's stuff here. And 2, because, well, we don't really need any of that right now. So, all we can do now is continue letting them do what they want to be doing here. Building these platforms and getting these in place. The good news is these are being built extremely quickly, and I think it's a pretty good chance that by the time we get to the second half of this cycle, be it a bad tide or a drought, these will all be good to go. Which also means that if this is ready, then we can come in here, if we wanted to do the dirt excavator, and we could finally fill these things back in, these misguided attempts at irrigation improvement in the midst of all of these irrigation changes over the life of Update 5 and Experimental. So, that is not necessarily a near-term thing for us to change, but we do need to keep it in mind. So this is looking quite nice. Yeah, really, really good stuff. And let's not forget here, we were trying to build more water wheels. We just didn't want to spend the resources when we didn't need the extra power. But don't worry, we're going to put these here eventually. We just have to get it done. Just have to get things going. So now that we have stable water, although the water could be better, but now that we have stable water and stable food, I think we can go ahead and start adding some additional breeding pods. So I'll just pop 2 more down here, let them build and fill that as they so please. People here have said that, oh, why don't you put breeding pods in the center here? Well, I could. No reason not to, but I don't need to right now, so I'll just keep the space open. I'm not sure that this is going to stay this height. We might want to raise it, depending on how the water situation's looking. I don't know. We'll see what happens. For right now, though, we're probably going to want to go ahead and put in some more of these pumps. I know I've been saying forever and ever and ever, I'm gonna deepen the corner of this, and I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna have all sorts of pumps and everything. And this will be where all the water gets stored. But for right now, I think it's probably better for us to just keep building pumps and not worry about exploding anything down quite yet. So I will leave this space in the middle open because that is where the path is going to make the most sense to go across if we choose to do that. And I will just go ahead and build, let's say 3 more right here. Especially if we're going to be getting some more beavers anytime soon. Now we have 3,000 science. So we have the option, like we've been discussing this whole time, to get dirt excavators. Well, that was at 2,000. But the other thing at 3,000 science is the Flame of Unity, which is, of course, the monument that uses a bunch of planks and now some metal blocks as well. But will give us a very nice boost to our beaver well-being, which makes the beavers live longer. So I think it's probably in our benefit to just go ahead and do that. The well-being gain that we got from the labor monument was a whole 3. I think the Flame of Unity is 4 or 5. So why don't we just go ahead and unlock that? And then, of course, the range on this is substantial enough to envelop the paths as well. If I put 1 here, and then 1 here, that's going to be a whole lot of planks that we don't currently have. But we do have these 4 working to make some more planks for us. And this is almost done. Almost done here. Just waiting on another, I guess, 16 planks at this point to get these side platforms put in place, and that should be fantastic once that's done. We do, however, need to be building more and more of these. Just got to get there. Oh, and this bad water is empty, by the way, because we pumped all of our bad water out by now. So you know what that means. It means we can expand across this way and figure out how we're going to get power across here. I don't think it's going to be too terribly difficult. We could just make kind of a weird contraption to go over this and then in the back of something else, considering the fact that there's not really anything else that can go here. So why don't we go ahead and just do that? I know we have some crazy stuff here with our vertical power shafts we haven't really messed with. Oh, and flywheels are back, by the way, because I installed the mod again. But I don't think I'm going to be putting them right here, because this is really just not the best place for that. Probably should have been putting them underneath, but we'll get there when we get there. Alright, so here's where we sit right now on this. This entire corner is pretty much done. And you can tell because this right here is not fully irrigated anymore. But right here, once all of these are put in place, that should give us a little bit better of an idea. We'll just put that right there. And then, well, okay, I don't need to put that one on that side quite yet. Because this is already out of the range of the reach of the bad water. So what this is going to do is this pretty much, just this corner right here is going to become ungrowable. But, I mean, this kohlrabi seems to be fine right now. I don't know if it will still be fine once this is fully built. We'll see what happens. But I imagine we'll end up having to do something kind of like what we've done here. This one in the very corner is not viable. And that is 4 in and 4 in from this corner here. So that would be... Huh, okay. No, it's actually 5 and 5, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so these would go bye-bye, I think. I don't know. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm not always the best at doing this. Oh, no, you know why? You know why this still has water? Is because this channel is irrigating a little bit further out this way. So, no, maybe we don't want to. Maybe we don't want to. Oh, no, never mind. I blocked that off. All right. Well, now I'm really confused because why is this like this? Huh. Well, maybe I'm just absolutely off my rocker here. Let's prioritize this and see what happens. I know they haven't started building this either, but when they do, we will go ahead and put one of these guys in. I think they can still build from underneath, so that should be totally fine. And that's going to be a little visual interest. Might not be the most efficient way to do this, but I do think that's kind of cool, kind of neat. Actually, I wonder, is it worth doing the science expenditure just to have one of these flywheels here? I don't know. I don't know, but it would look pretty cool. And, selfishly, my name is in the description text for this. So if we were to do the small vertical flywheel, well, we don't have the 800 science anyway, but it might be kind of fun. Might be kind of fun to have that there. I don't know. We'll see. So what we'll do here is we'll continue to come down this way. And, of course, put a bunch of these down. As a reminder, did I just pause the game or is it lagging? Okay, it's just lagging. This is... I don't know why I can't remember what that's called. A log? Oh boy. Logs, logs, logs. Planks, planks. Treated planks on the end. So I actually should probably mirror that on this side. Yeah, let's make these for treated planks. So that'll get us a whole 120 total. But it's probably not something we're going to need a whole lot of for the rest of time, so I doubt it's going to be that big of an issue. These in the middle will be for planks, and these on the outside will be for logs. We'll just mirror what's going on over here. Is mirroring the most efficient or necessary way to do this? Probably not. But I like how it looks, and that should be reason enough to do it. So that is what we'll do. And let's see, how many spots over did I go for this? I guess we'll just mirror it. There's no reason not to. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's about what we wanted. So if we come up on top here, I will have to... do I really need... am I really going to need 8 gear workshops, though? I don't think I am. In fact, In fact, I think I could get away with going down to 3 here if I'm going to have 3 more on the other side. Yeah, let's actually do that. Okay. Now, I know I don't have to have these mirrored, but I kind of want to. I kind of like the way that looks. So if I make 5 more of these and 3 more of these, then at the end of this, assuming I replace this, I'll have 10 industrial lumber mills and 6 gear workshops. Gears don't seem to be a problem for us currently. So we'll let them take care of what they need to take care of there. And I don't think I want to mirror this on the other side, but we do have our 2 explosives factories and 4 wood workshops. We have 4 of these oil presses. The only other thing we really haven't built over here is going to be, oh, where's the, centrifuges. And then the food processing, which we put over here because of the way that the irrigation was happening. So I guess that's probably fine to leave this over here. Making eggplant rations and corn rations, and then fermenter for soybeans. And we have on the outside soybeans as well. So we're actually not, I'd completely forgotten about this. We're not making fermented cassava anything over here. So we probably should have some of those. So maybe that's something we do over here. Because the soybeans are drawing their canola oil from right there, because we have these oil presses here. But since we have these 4, we don't really need these over here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We also have the ability to kind of turn this thing around here. Reorganize how this is set up. Not entirely sold on this layout exactly yet. But now that this is all built, these guys need something to do. So let's go into flywheels. Vertical framed flywheel. I really hope this is actually the one I want. Yes, it is. So we'll put that there. And then once it's built, we'll be able to see my my little shout out here. I thought that was always just so much fun. Shout out to Battery Smooth, by the way, for making that fantastic mod and I guess semi-immortalizing my stupid self in there. That's all sorts of good fun. So they'll be getting at this as well. And we have our, wow, Flames of Unity here. 1, 2, and the third one is, oh, I never placed it. Oops. Well, we'll get it done eventually. Yeah, look how fast that's charging up. This Smart Power mod is really cool, the way that this is set up. So we're going to have some more flywheels in other places, but at the very least, we have 2,000 HPH worth of power stored up. It's got to count for something, right? Right? But if you saw my other playthroughs, you're going to remember that these large framed ones are absolutely a power play. So we'll get that taken care of quite nicely. Let's replace this. I don't know why I went to the path interface, but we'll replace this with another one of these industrial lumber mills, and that will all be quite nice to have ready to go. Guess I should deprioritize these hauling posts slightly. Now everything is looking pretty nice. These have already been deprioritized, these inventors. I really should just go ahead and automatically have those set up accordingly. There we go. All right. Looking good. And it's a day 12, which means we could very well get our next drought or bad tide very soon. So, let's just make sure this farm area is all set up. I think, yeah, it goes all the way to the corner. This one is done. So yeah, this is actually now almost fully protected. This little bit right here has not yet been fully taken care of, but that'll be an easy thing for us to do right quick with the help of our ladders. Just pop that right there. And once that's a thing, then I can come in here with the irrigation barrier and completely seal that side off. We'll do the same thing here as well, except that's going to be an interesting obstacle for us to overcome. I think we're going to have to do some fun stuff here. The way this is set up. Because that's, yeah. Okay, we just put the ladders there. That's going to be fine. And then this right here is going to have to be irrigation barrier platform on top. And then in the corner here, we'll have to have a ladder. Which I guess I will just put out like so. Alright, that should eventually, when we get there, should solve our problems. And completely isolate our farming from everything else going on over here. Right, now this is fully independent, looking nice. And we did lose, I don't know why we didn't lose this one, but we did lose a good bit of space here, but not going to be the end of the world. We'll get it all taken care of. But this is looking fantastic. Look at the huge increase in plank production. That's looking nice. And we have enough of these, what do you call them? Treated planks? Yes, that's what it is. We have enough of those to, I think, go ahead and just get this whole entire thing up and running on this side as well. We have this whole thing done, this whole side done, but I'm not going to be worried about this quite so much because, well, our food situation is well in hand. That's looking okay. But I was most worried about getting these crops protected and these crops, and now that's fine, so we can turn our attention to the trees eventually. So irrigation barriers come this way as well. And it's going to be time for us to put another beaver roundabout in. I think you guys ended up really liking this whole thing that I affectionately dubbed the beaver roundabout, because they were going at one point clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever direction here, but it seems like they're pretty much only doing this direct route. But I don't know. I just think it's kind of a cool thing. So we'll do the same thing here as well. And just get the connectivity all prepared, ready to go. And I think this is, yes, that's going to work out just fine right there. Now we could, the corner that they're not favoring, we could very easily put in like a statue or something, and we might eventually, because they're not doing that. See, they prefer this one, and they prefer this one, so, you know, we probably should let them go the way they want to go, but if there's a way to influence that by putting an item somewhere else, I think that might be kind of fun. Now, on this one, I've got the ladder on this side and this side, and on this one, I put the ladders here and here. This one is actually a mirror of this. I didn't intend that. I didn't actually keep track of which way the ladders were facing, and this corner is not going to get one because in my misplaced zeal, I backed this all the way up into the corner, which means that we can't actually put one over here. So I guess that's the cost of doing business, but not the end of the world. All right, so these guys are completely done. That means we can start planting some other trees and stuff here. So to get that started, let's go ahead and place a bunch of these here. And I'm not even going to bother putting a levee or anything here because probably should wait until we actually have the dirt excavator in place to do too much over here. But I did want to more or less duplicate what we had going on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces between this and this path. So if we do the same thing again We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the 13th right here should line up quite nicely. We'll just leave our 3x3 space in the middle, except for that right there. And this can get excavated out. I don't actually remember how deep this is. Okay, it's 2 blocks deep. All right, so we'll put our double dynamite. All right, there, and then there's not really any specific reason to do this way. I just, for whatever reason, decided that would be fun. So that's what I did. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it. But I will have that going there, just because that's how that's always been. And then I'll run this all the way out to here. We're not getting into this corner yet, but we can plant the same way, and that'll be fine. So now the fun thing is going to be figuring out where in the world we put our dirt excavator. And again, I can put this anywhere. There's no rule saying I have to put it one place or the other. But considering we haven't really developed out here quite yet, probably would make the most sense. Oh, you know what? Oh, man. I can't believe I didn't think of this before. Well, we don't have the science to unlock it yet, but I said I wanted to explode this out. Why don't we just put it over here? The power is not super close to it, but we could just power it with an engine, or put 2 of these in, because this is a 5 wide. Oh yeah, okay. Not the worst idea I've ever had, but definitely not the best either. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we won't do that. Like, again, we can't do it because we don't have the science for it, but I don't know. It's just an idea. Gives us some food for thought. And I am going to plant more mangroves over here as well once that's all taken care of. So I do want to go ahead and build with that in mind. Now the forester will be able to take care of all of that. No problem anyway. So why don't we just go ahead and build that out like we did before with the dams? Because really that's just to let the water get in here. Which, oh, that's actually going to mean that we have to put these up here as well. There we go. We'll do the exact same thing that we'd done before. Except I can't angle it correctly. So that's going to be a forester flipperino right here. Then on the back side, we'll have lumberjack flag, teeth grindstone in the middle, and other fun things like that. Is it the most efficient layout? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. But it is fun to have some stuff like this. 4 of these should be more than enough. And of course, gatherer flags as well. Right here, right here. Mangrove fruit storage right here and right here. Again, just for the reason of that's the way we did it before. But now we have our drought. So let's actually pause this because I didn't I didn't automate these at all. I guess it doesn't really matter, because all the rest of these floodgates slam shut just fine. Yeah, it's only 6 days. Let's not worry about it. Don't need to spend time splitting hairs, and we can just enjoy playing the game. Mangrove fruits here and here. Are these set to supply? Because I feel like they should be. They are. They're also not prioritized by hauler, so I don't know that it really matters. Well, that's going to be nice once it's finally dispensing water. And since it's only a drought, we can actually take advantage of that to put this infrastructure in place. And now we find ourselves at a decision point. I do need to put in a dirt excavator. I don't have the science, so it's probably going to be a little bit later. But we got to decide at some point where we're going to put this thing. And oh, you know what? We've run out of metal block storage. All right, that's a thing we can pretty easily fix. these guys right here. Yeah, you know what? You know what? We're getting to the point where we're about to have more beavers anyway. So why don't we, since there's no power here, well, except for the engines, why don't we go ahead and I will just put in 3 more of these things just so we can get that rocking and rolling. And then we'll build a bunch of storage. And I'll just put some right here. We can have a little bit extra. This metal block storage. Scrap metal right there is fine. And then this will get removed eventually as well. So that'll give them something to do. Take up some of our resources there. Yeah. And when we get 2,000 science, whether that's this episode or not, we will we'll put ourselves a nice dirt excavator. And we just have to figure out exactly what place it's going to occupy. I wonder. I love the ability to preview the building now. Oh, could I conceivably? Oh, I absolutely could. How funny would that be? I mean, I don't have the ability to get power down here, but if I did that, I could, you know, I could actually have power routed down here pretty easily. This wouldn't be the worst place for it either, but I would have to build a little platform here for it. I don't know. Maybe. We also don't have engines up here. Yep, that's already out. Yeah, I need to build flywheels. Who am I kidding? I don't need to be worrying about building the dirt excavators when I already have flywheels messing with or not messing with flywheels yet. I was gonna maybe think about putting when I put these other houses in here, using those to transmit power. Actually, that's a genius idea. Why have I not done that yet? Just put houses here and then along the backside, because I have all these swimming pools. Just put a bunch of those giant framed flywheels back here, and then say that's just whatever that is. But this guy is the same width as a swimming pool, and it will actually connect. It's just going to be a little bit high, a little tall. But because of where the stuff connects, I think, yeah, if I hook it up exactly right here, it would have the ability to store power. Unfortunately, there's no water wheels connected to the front of these guys, but that could be something we fix at some point. I don't know. I'm kind of just throwing stuff at the wall, the metaphorical wall. My actual wall is quite clean, don't worry. But we'll see what happens. Bear with me if you haven't noticed over the past 39 minutes. I seem to have contracted something. And becomes a little difficult to talk, trying to still make sure we can get some progress made here. Well, not quite at 100%. Appreciate the understanding. So other things that you guys said in the comments I wanted to make sure we made a note of this time was to take a look at the hydroponic gardens. And I gotta find a good spot for those. And I was thinking about, since this corner is not really irrigated at all, what if we just kind of built some platforms here and put hydroponic farms in this space, just down here, and then hooked them up to this beaver roundabout thing. Because this is dry. I don't know why this isn't, that's just so strange. But if we did that, we could actually probably be pretty successful here. If I just did, for the sake of argument, well, I guess I should just unlock the thing right now anyway. because I said I was going to build these. But if I put it in like this, it's not going to let me put another one in here. But if I put in like this, or come out 2 blocks, then these would actually meet in the corner here, and then I have a little bit of space right here. So why don't we do that? Yeah, because theoretically, this is not really growable anyway. So if we were to unplant here and here, these 2 right here should be fine. But underneath, we could have some more industrial storage, or we could put a couple of these large warehouses. It just depends on what we're wanting to do. You can't plant plants under a platform, so that's kind of a pointless endeavor to do that. But I did want to see if we're going to be able to put some stuff on top of this. So, like I was saying before, oh, I actually didn't need to get rid of this. Ah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what then. Let's keep planting those right there, and then we'll just get rid of this corner because they can't really do anything with that. So instead, since we have the path already here, and we were going to have this set up anyway, how this is currently looking, let's just get this back to right here. Yeah, that's going to work out so much nicer to do this like this. Oh, I didn't plant this. I didn't put it in the right spot. Go figure. There we go. That's what I needed it to do to get everything matched up, and we'll leave this space 2x2 in the corner. So they will come grab that at some point. And then I will just have to do one of these like this. Yeah, that'll be nice. And then we'll have some storage here for the products of the hydroponic farms. The raw products, that is. So we're going to be growing mushrooms. We're going to be growing algae. So algae here. And then I'm not going to lose sleep about this kohlrabi thing going away because it really doesn't matter. And come get rid of that. And that's going to work out just fine. Assuming they can actually come and get it. And this is crying out for stuff to do. These poor beavers have nothing going on. Oh, and we're in beaver homelessness mode, so you know what that means. I can't put any more here because I decided this was going to be oh boy, now I gotta start building a new beaver area here. So what if I just went ahead and duplicated this whole thing once again? That's one thing this game doesn't have, at least not that I'm aware of, that I think would be very beneficial would be blueprints to copy-paste stuff. I don't know, there also could be an argument made for, okay, if you do that, you're kind of getting rid of the spirit of the game, and it's not this or that or the other, so I don't know. I think I can appreciate what both sides of that argument would have to say, but I do think it would be very, very cool to be able to just copy-paste stuff. And then do the same thing here. But I was going to expand over here anyway, so just being able to do that, and then by extension, this, by putting in a right here, powers these houses, and then I could extend that down to the corner if I felt like it. I just got to remember how I have this set up. That's going to be all manner of platforms and stuff here. Oh, I can't ever remember. All right, so that's got to go here. Yeah, just like this. Except this one doesn't need to be here because that's going to be a shower. I think I had, what, 4 of these? 4 of these off to the side here? Yes. 4 of those, and then 4 more. There we go. I believe that's exactly how I had that set up before. Oh, you know what? I had this completely flipped. All right. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Although that probably is a more efficient layout now that I think about it. Yeah, that needs to go like that. I believe this is what I wanted. Yes. Yep, and then I have to have one more around the outside here. Then get this hooked up. And this was actually a ladder. Yes. There we go. And then, of course, we have our monuments and so on and so forth. Which direction do I have these facing? Outside. Outwards, yes, of course. So they can survey the landscape here. Alright, and those were on the outside. Okay. And that doesn't matter which way it's rotated. But now, oh, they're gonna be kept quite busy working on all this stuff. So these are in place here. Looking fine, and we're almost up to 2,000 science. So that makes me think, maybe I should go ahead and start building over here. Maybe just a thought. As if I were to do this, let's pause again. He says, I could right here. Yeah, that wouldn't. I'd have to put it this way, I'm sure. But I would want to put, for symmetry's sake, I would want to put 2. There's no reason for it to be, symmetrical like this. Really no reason whatsoever. So it would just be kind of a pride point for me wanting to make things symmetrical, so we can probably pretty safely do that. But the processing is going well. The wood stock is still looking good. I just need to start planting more of these oak trees over here, which I will go ahead and do. I think I want to have, let's see, 5 on the side here. That should be, yes, that's exactly as many as I wanted to do here. And then these need to be mangroves pretty much all the way in between here. All right, so that's, well, once the terraforming is happening, then I can get rid of this and put land here. That'll be fine. So this will all be planted as mangroves once the water goes back in place. And hey, look, drought's over. So now we're looking better in that front. I hope you can see the vision that I've got for this. You know, it's a little jumbled, a little bit piece by piece progress, maybe some backtracking, whatever. But I do think that when this is all finished, it's going to be something very, very interesting, which of course we'll just have to see as it continues to grow. So let's go ahead and do a couple of little cleanup items here. Just to make sure we're off to a good start before we end the episode, because it is the end of this one here at the start of cycle 19 at day 1. We don't have homeless beavers anymore. We started building some additional barracks. We do have one who's unemployed, but I think that's just because they're incapacitated. Or maybe it's both. I don't know. We'll see. We can put some more hauling posts in. Everything, but this is looking quite nice. Good improvements here. Even if most of what we did was just expand this out. We can, before we're finished. And you know what? I'll just have this keep running because there's no real reason to get rid of that. All right. Where's my mushrooms? There they are. Now, as I promised, hydroponic gardens. This one was for algae. This one's for mushrooms. And we can, of course, stack these as high as we want, or we could continue to put these little warehouses down and then just expand them out like this. That honestly wouldn't be a bad idea, the way that this has been laid out, I don't think. If I did that, I'd have one here, I'd have one here, and then on the end there would be some extra space. So, not totally opposed to that idea. We'll see what happens. That could be a thing for next episode. So if you have any thoughts on the matter, do let me know. This also does mean that I can no longer put a statue here in the corner because we're using this path. But I think that's going to be a better use of space anyway. And we have space in the corner here. Why don't we just put in a little medium tank for some water storage? Seems like a good way to use that space. It's not really anything else we can be doing with that. So that is looking quite nice. Next time we'll see what happens with the rest of all this. We of course still have to get some bad water, which means we're going to have to continue our trek toward the outside and see what that has in store for us, or just set up a whole bunch of those pumps in the middle here, or in the slightly less close area. Yep, that's it. That's all I got time for. That's about all my voice could take right now. But I did want to make sure that I got one of these out for you guys, because it's been quite a while since we had this installment of this series. So, again, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. All the fantastic support in 2023 is just growing the channel beyond my wildest dreams and expectations, and I hope we can have continued success here in 2024. We got plenty of fun stuff coming, more Timberborn, more other games, and hopefully more live streams too. So I'll keep you posted on all of those developments as they become relevant. But it is time for me to go get a drink of water and get a good night's rest. I appreciate you. Appreciate the Beard Boosters as well for their support, if I didn't say already. And again, looking forward to seeing you again in the next video, whenever it might be. So whatever you're doing, stay safe, have fun, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.